jersey yet, so I can't rep otherwise, but still boo.
SAFL Week 2, 2020. This is your the one and only commish Burr, now with the two and only commish Adam. How you doing today, Adam? How's your Monday panning out?
Monday's good when you have victories throughout the weekend. Monday doesn't seem as bad. So far so smooth. How about you, Burr?
Pretty good. Busy. Just still getting over a little heartbreak over the weekend. Definitely took a walloping from AK, but we'll get into that a little later. Adam, how you doing? Let's talk a little bit about what's going on this past week. Maybe some of the issues that rose up. Maybe talk about your game a little bit.
Sure, I'll kick it off. So, I mean, this was a pretty competitive week for a lot of games. We saw some new team jump in, the Knights, and we saw what was a competitive slate of games. Burhan, I don't want to jump the gun too quick, but this seems like, and I feel like we say this every year, but this is the most talented the league has ever been. We have 11 teams, all with players who have been in the league before, who have been in leagues before. And there seems to be some camaraderie across all the teams here. Obviously, you have your heavyweights and you have the teams who are still trying to figure it out. But it seems like even the teams who are trying to figure it out are better than the teams who were trying to figure it out last year. And I think that is something that I really enjoyed seeing. So the game that stuck out to me this week was the game between the two new teams, the Knights and the Panthers. Two new squads who are either new to the league or just getting to know one another. And they had a game that went down to the wire with crazy ups and downs and weird scenarios, things that normally don't happen, but it was exciting. It was fun to watch. And, that's what the league is about. So I don't know if any game stuck out to you in your head, but that was the one that really caught my attention.
The game that stuck out in my head, probably, the Browns. No, scratch that. It was the primetime game versus the Gators.
Really?
I
know. I'm excited to watch, man. Yeah, it's
it's funny. I was gonna say, because I came probably maybe like 5 or 10 minutes right before halftime, and I walked over, the first thing I saw was you taking it for a touchdown, and doing the whole woo, like running into the end zone with your arms out like you're flying, so that was nice to see. And I don't remember who said it to me, but someone on the sideline said to me, Adam really came to play today. And I don't know. I mean, and we saw some of those pictures from the game that I sent out earlier. And, I was saying how big, how beast of a player Ricky looked in those pictures. He was looking big. He was throwing nice passes. You were getting your touches. You guys were looking fast. Gators are not a pushover team either. So
no, they are not. Yeah.
So that was nice to see, man. I just want to see what the actual final score was. It was 21-33 prime time, and let me see if I could just pull up some quick stats for us. You had 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good. DJ, 6 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Stud.
Ricky had 5 passing touchdowns. He did throw a couple of interceptions, but I'm sure that he'll be, that's not going to be a big deal later on. Watch for that though. Always keep your eye on that. And then the Gators 1, 2, 3, 4 only played with 6 or 7, I think. So
I believe they only had 6 or 7. And I'll give the Gators credit. They had a newer QB. I hadn't seen the guy before. So I'm sure there was a little bit of learning on the go. But he played well. And I think that's a team that can still win games if he's at the helm. I'm not sure where Dean was or if Dean's going to be around for the rest of the season, but I expect them to make noise no matter what. I mean, they did jump out to a 14-0 lead on us. So it's not like they weren't, hitting us with all they had throughout the game. But we were able to make the adjustments that we needed and come out on top. So That's all that matters. But I think the Gators are going to be a team that, as they normally do, dominate throughout the regular season, be a threat when the time comes.
For the one thing, I think I feel like a broken record a little bit when talking about the Gators and their roster size. That's always been kind of an Achilles heel for them. It's not that they don't have the players; they just like to carry a small roster. So again, we'll keep an eye on that, and I love that game. Keep an eye on prime time this year. Preseason ranking was number 2. I think they hit that right on the nail on the head on that one. So that was a great game. That game showed me a lot about who primetime is this year, and hopefully Gators can also turn it around too. They're 1-1. You guys are 2-0. So that's going to be a good season to follow for you guys. I want to talk another game that kind of stuck out in my mind was the Guardians and Savages game. So we have a new team in the Guardians. They got a couple players from like the elites, but mostly guys. Yusuf leads that team. So it was going to be an interesting game. I wasn't too sure about this one, because the Savages, they're a veteran team. They got veteran players on the team. Hashim's on that team. He's QBing. So, for me, that game was a little bit of a surprise. Final score was 26-20.
Close one.
Even though a lot of people thought it was a surprise, I didn't think it was so much of a surprise because if you were there, it was a lot of energy in that game from the Guardian side, and I think there was a couple of warnings dished out to both teams because it was getting a little crazy. Just the energy was so high. But you had Yusuf, who was the player of the game, and I think we have a short clip for it.
John Papa here.
Let's check out that.
Week 2, Game 3. This was a Guardian victory. 4 touchdowns for this Yusuf. Yusuf, go tell your fans and people what you did today.
Oh man, the team balled out today. I mean, I can't do anything without them. So defense, they played huge. The guys got open, so they took advantage of some, situations. So it was a good team win. This is our first year playing organized football, so we have a lot to learn, but hopefully we'll get there.
Good job.
It's Yusuf's birthday too. Shout out.
Whose birthday? Yours?
Yeah.
Mine was Thursday, and yours is today.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday and a W, boy.
John Papa signing off. SAFL Week 2, Game 3. Guardians win. Thank you.
Yeah. So
all right.
It was good to see those boys get a nice win. Yusuf's a good quarterback. He was 34. He was 20 for 34, 4 touchdown passes. And on the defensive end, he had an interception. Couple other guys had an interception. Squirrels had an interception, and I think there was an interception for a touchdown somewhere. Try to find that out a little bit later, but from Akib. So defensively they got it done. Offensively they got it done. Savages, they need a little work. They're also running a short roster. They don't look terrible, but they need work. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, listen, so I'll talk about the Guardians a bit. I scrimmaged them a bit over the summer. They're a team that is going to get better as the season goes on, as they build that chemistry. Yusuf is a quarterback that I think we need to keep our eyes on because not only is he, a solid passer of the ball, he's got legs for days. He can run the football. You're going to have to keep somebody quick on that line of scrimmage to make sure he doesn't get away from him. So I think shout out to the Guardians for coming up with that first win. I love the energy. I heard them getting hyped throughout the entire game on the sideline. It's good to hear them cheer for one another. And a big shout out to Squirrel. I know he gets on me for my winning record in the in SAFL career, but he's a quality player. He's the spark plug of that team, and I see him making plays all the time.
Yeah. So let's keep an eye on the Guardians. 1-1. Savage is 0-2, dropping the rankings, and Guardians are rising in the rankings. Let's move on, Adam, to the Browns Cobra Kai game. I mean, again, you said it earlier. I think every game, at least 4 of the games, were very competitive this past week, and this was another one. The final score was 27-25 Cobra Kai. A little bit of controversy in this game, Adam, which maybe we'll talk about. But, let's just talk about the guys from Cobra Kai. These guys, we like to talk about how they came in a couple years back, as an expansion team. First year wasn't great, and then last year turned it around, and this year even doing a better job. QB Yash went 24 for 45, a little bit low, a little bit under 500 on the day in passing, but he had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. A lot of the passes went to Joel. Bhatti had some touches. And then Don Ricky, one of the new players, had 3 touchdowns. So that was nice to see.
Interesting.
Sorry, I missed that, Adam.
No, I'm saying I don't know who Don Ricky is. I wasn't able to catch the entirety of that game, but it's interesting to see that they have a new guy come in and make the impact that he had 3 touchdowns.
Right. And then, getting Joe, he had a couple of his catches. And then defensively, they got it done too. Got it done enough to, hold off the Browns and their high-powered offense. The Browns, Shu went 24 for 38 with 1 interception, 4 touchdowns. A lot of the passes went to Ken, 10 touches on the day.
Wow.
I think we have Ken joining us tonight for a quick little interview.
There he is.
Yes. Hey, guys.
Ken Teleski, that SAFL leader in receptions, probably the most decorated receiver in league history. How's it going, man?
Well, it's great. Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be on this first-rate, very well done podcast. Really enjoy the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for jumping on. So, Ken, we were just talking about your game, actually. Why don't you give us a little rundown about what happened?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Ken, why don't you tilt that camera up a little bit? We're only getting half your face. Perfect.
You can see me now? Okay.
Can you hold it like this, like in front of you?
Like
yeah.
That?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, it was a tough game. Cobra Kai is a much improved team. They started 2 years ago and they had like 6 guys, and it was Fabio and Anthony basically. And then last year, they got better. They put up a lot of points, but this year, they're 2-0 and looking real solid. We got off to a really good start, and they made some adjustments. I heard you guys talking a little bit. Defense actually was a pretty tough game. Not that high scoring, but we were there. We were up, and then we just couldn't really convert. We lost a lot of players. We've been playing in this league since 2013, and the Browns, we had a lot of roster turnover, so we lost maybe about 11 guys, and a lot of the new guys are still trying to find their way. And when you lose a Ricky Cotton and a TJ Smith and a Nafi, that's going to change the scope of your offense. So that's why the points quite haven't been there, as guys aren't used to playing with Shu and maybe don't have the experience. And not for nothing, the league, Burhan, Adam, has improved exponentially. This is like a top-rate league now. So you got to kind of keep up with the Joneses. And it was a tough loss, but we were right there. And hats off to Cobra Kai, as they have a very good team. Anthony and Fabio, Joe Sudberg, Yash is solid. This new guy, as I heard you mentioning, Don Ricky. I had never seen him before. He had 3 touchdowns. And Joel and Bhatti are as good as well. And Earl Giver, he played very well. He had like 5 batted passes. So tough loss, but I think we'll be competitive, and it's a bit of a rebuilding year, but that's fine. And
Ken, let me ask you a question. Where do you see the Browns at, let's say end of this year? Where are the Browns going to be sitting this year? We talked about here and on the sideline for rebuilding year. But I mean, don't get me wrong, even though it's rebuilding year, it's not that like you guys have some Joe Schmoes on the team. We got some names over here. Obviously Shu, you, ZQ, Sohail, Anas, what's his name, Jonathan. So a bunch of these guys, kind of like names that should be able to make the Browns a very competitive team by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. We have what I call very good players. We have a lot of role players, but the thing that we don't really have right now, and I've been playing football 30 years, so I'm a decent evaluator of talent. We don't have the top end like speed guy that can blow the top off of a defense like a D-Raj or like a Q or a DJ or Ricky or AK with a guy like Richie or the Gators or Shady. So I think, we'll be competitive and teams don't necessarily want to play us, but we're missing that component. And I see it up close and personal because Adam and I play together on Sundays. I play 8-man flag. I have my own team. And I play, we have on the same team Ricky, DJ, and Q. And you have myself, we have Adam, we have some other guys. So that's the thing right now. We don't have that component, but we do have a lot of good ball players. And with Shu, I know we're going to be in every game. And we're just kind of seeing, for the future, all right, who's going to be a Brown, maybe past just this season. But with the competition in the league now, this is not the 2013 or 2014 SAFL. So, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it best that the league has just really grown. I mean, you can see, even in like just the players themselves, they've grown so much. We talk a lot about Adam and how he has grown so much, and he's seeing a lot of success now. And he's having fun. I mean, I don't think it's the first time I've actually seen Adam having fun.
I know, right? Well, he's a real good player. Like, he's always been a real good player. It's just that the Thunder team, they had some good parts, but
they didn't utilize.
No, but I knew Adam. Like, that's why I had Adam. Adam joined us on Sundays, and I know this guy can play. I mean, so to what he's doing to me, I've seen it, and even when he was on the Thunder. So a guy like Adam deserves to now be having some fun, going to the field, smiling. Okay, not stressed out that he might have to at the last minute play quarterback or there's only 6 guys.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So I mean, there was a week or two there last year where I did have to play quarterback, and that's when there's a problem. So I feel like the Thunder always tried to emulate the Browns. We needed the stability in terms of our players. Like everybody, like Ken, you got your role in the offense and you do it perfectly to a T. And we were never able to find the pieces of that puzzle and where they fit. We had some stars, right? We had myself, we had Jesse Johnson, we had Curtis who can ball, like we had guys who could really, do some damage, but we were never able to make it gel like the Browns have for so long. And it starts with the QB and it starts with football IQ amongst all your skill positions, right? You need players who know what they're doing offensively and defensively. What do you do when you catch the ball? What do you do on certain down and distance? Those are things that the Browns, I think, still have and will be able to complete in a more high level as the season goes on. So
I would agree.
I'm not worried about you guys. I have some insider information in terms of what's going on with the roster. I'm not going to reveal anything here on the show today. I'll let the surprise be the surprise when the time comes. But I expect you guys to kick ass as always, and I expect nothing less than 110 receptions from Ken Teleski this year.
Hey man, I go out there and play. I mean, Shu throws the ball very well, very catchable. You play up a guy for a while, you kind of know each other's rhythm, where to be, and I got to say, playing with Shu, is an honor and a pleasure. He's a great guy, great leader, and you know he puts that ball on the money. He doesn't really make it hard for his.
Yeah, no, he makes it.
So Ken, last thing I wanted to talk to you about is your career in the SAFL and your receptions. You know, we've been taking stats for, you know, as long as you've been here, but really the last 3 years have been like, you know, really recorded, really accurate, you know, with their stat keepers and everything. And, you know, amongst active receivers, and I'm pretty sure amongst the non-active receivers all time, you have the most reception, 145 recorded in our 3 years with each other, including this year. What do you plan on doing? You know, because you've been doing it for so long, but when you changing your game, you know, are you planning on playing until they have to carry you off?
Well, that's a good question, and I still feel. I mean, I'm 40 years old right now. I feel like I'm a pretty young 40, so I feel like my game hasn't changed much because I'm not a guy really like put weight on. So I've been pretty much playing football now since my 30 years of football. I started playing in 1990.
Ken, I think we're losing you. We're losing you a little bit of connection. We're starting to hear you.
Really? Hold on
now,
a second.
There we go. Now we can hear you a little bit better.
Okay. So I was saying that I've been playing football a long time. I started in like 1991. And I'm 40, but I feel pretty good, pretty young. I haven't really put like weight on. So I don't have like a retirement plan. And I feel like I can keep going as long as I can be productive and give something to the team. And it helps when you are out there playing and you have like other see what I miss a little bit is now I'm hoping some of these guys on the Browns are going to step up. Because when we play like on Sundays right now, and I'm lining up, and I have a DJ and a Ricky and a Q and an Adam and like my man Everett who's playing all on the same team, that's like ideal for me being an older statesman now. But you know, retirement is not in the plans. I'm still feeling good, and I just enjoy coming to the games on Saturday. Not just when we play, but I stick around. I like to watch the other teams. I like to talk to all the guys in the league. We've built a great, you know, community and brotherhood here. Burhan, you really have spearheaded that effort from the beginning, being a great commissioner and ambassador for the South Asian Football League and Sports Network. And now you have Adam and Fabio, two excellent picks to join you. I mean, very, very good guys to have helping you run the league. And you know, it's a first-rate thing. So I'm retirement. I'm ready to keep playing. Hopefully I can have 1,000 career receptions or whatever. I mean, I keep my stats. I'm a stat guy. Like I love stats, so I love that you guys do it.
Yeah, yeah. We want to keep that going, Ken. We want to see you for a long time. Appreciate all the nice, kind words. We're gonna, you know, keep track of you. Keep track of the Browns.
Yeah.
Appreciate you joining us tonight. Any last words?
Yeah, just quickly. So, just give my rundown of the league very quickly.
Can't hear you again, Ken. Try this again.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
We got
the rundown of the league. I mean, AK, those guys. Hats off to them. I mean, they're like a juggernaut. I mean, they don't really change personnel. They're the odds-on favorite. I mean, they are loaded and disciplined. Primetime is right behind them, and they're just as good. I mean, Ricky Cotton, a quarterback. And you got, you know, the other guys there, DJ, Q, Adam, Marion, really good. And the Gators, we got to play them this week. That's going to be tough. And Burr, I guess the Bandits, you might have been missing a few guys on I didn't stay for that game, but you guys look real good week one. So
I would just say, you know, our one of our best players, Miguel, did go down.
Okay.
We're missing a lot of players, and we make no excuses. We take our beatings like men. And, you know, we're going to prepare better next time. Hopefully more guys will show. And hopefully attendance for us is not going to be a major issue.
I know that's your one thing with you guys, because you guys are great when you're a full-headed monster, but sometimes the attendance issue. So, yeah, I mean, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. And, you know, last shout out to the new team, the Guardians of Skrull and Yusuf. Those guys got their first win, and they're good guys too. So we'll see you guys on Saturday.
All right, sounds good, Ken.
All right, Ken. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Later.
All right, Ken. Bye. Ken Teleski, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen, I don't know. Maybe there's girls watching. I don't know.
This gentleman.
Yeah, if they are, what's up?
Yeah, Ken's a great guy, man. He's been doing it for a long time with us. Always love having him around. He's good for the league, good for the players. And I mean, there's just a couple more games that we want to talk about. Let's talk really quick. AK Bandits. I mean, it was, again, we just had a quick rundown. They, they put a little beating on us, 52-6. We're missing a bunch of guys, but no excuses. Sims went 22 for 27, 7 touchdowns. Harpaul, Richie, Phil. Okay. Talk about early MVP candidates. My early MVP candidate this year is going to be Phil. The kid is a beast, and the kid has these crazy goggles that I'm like want so bad. Next time I see him, I steal them off his face. But he's definitely my early candidate for MVP this year.
Wow, that's a really interesting pick. So before we get into AK personnel, because I think we all know who they are. You know what? Yeah, why don't we run the tape of Phil first, and then we'll dive into that juggernaut that is AK. Why don't we run?
John Papa here, week 2, game 4. This gentleman here had 4 touchdowns, was all over the field, offense, defense. It was a complete domination by the AK. Tell your fans how you did today.
I think we did well. Combined team effort. I think we're just going to get better throughout the season. We have a couple team members that are missing right now, so we're just going to keep getting better, playing confident, and hopefully get another W next week.
Beautiful. John Papa signing off. It was not the Bandits day today. It was all AK, 52-6. But have a good weekend. John Papa signing off. Week 2, game 4.
Appreciate it.
Well, the early MVP candidate looked like a pirate. And he found gold with, I believe, was 4 touchdowns throughout the game. Look, AK is probably one of the most impressive teams we've seen in this league. They have run the league from the jump. They didn't have any rookie, learning curve or anything like that. They came in, they knew what they wanted to do. They knew who they were. They stuck to their guns, and they've been really, really successful. And I know we talk about the Phils and the Omnits and the Richies, but I got to give a shout out to Hargi, who is playing a bit of a bigger role than he normally does this year with some of the injuries that AK has right now. And he's played really well. I've seen him make really good plays at the safety position when they're running zone. They run zone now, which is another great improvement that they've made. And he flies around the field. He's a big body, and he makes plays for them. And that's something that, it just goes to show that you go down that roster, everyone can do something on that team. There's really no weak points. There's no one where I can look at and say, I'm going to pick on this guy. I'm going to burn this guy. No, everyone's going to give you a challenge. Everyone's going to be in your face. That's who AK is. And unfortunately, the Bandits had to run into them this week a little bit shorthanded. So let me ask you, Burr, this is just from a guest perspective. This is the outside looking in. It seems like AK has the Bandits number a bit. This is 2 times in a row where there's been pretty decisive victories, right? We're going back to the championship at this point. What do you guys think what do you think that the Bandits need to do to get over this hump? Because I think right now the road to the championship goes through AK.
Yeah, I definitely think they're the team to beat. What do we need to do to play them? First is attitude. I think attitude is very important. Going into, when you're playing this league for a long time, you know who AK is, you know who the Browns are. So, sometimes maybe you go into games, I'm not saying me, but, maybe you go into games of feeling a little intimidated and things like that. So getting over that mental hurdle is always a challenge. But playing, we have a long season. So, we got to build that chemistry, build that motivation, build all these things that go into going into the playoffs and playing a team like AK. Got to carry that momentum in. So all these factors play a role. And I'm sure it's the same thing going to be for you guys, So AK definitely the team to go through this year. They're the number 1 seed. They're putting up points like crazy. Their defenses are crazy, not letting up. They've let up 6 points in 2 weeks. So that's the team this year, Adam.
Yeah, lucky for the rest of the league, they're on a bye week this week, so we'll all get a break from them.
Yeah, I was trying to get what's his name, Sims, to take a bye week last week, but I just want to run through real quick, Adam. Panthers Knights game. It was a great game. 30-28, two new teams that had something to prove to each other in the league. I want to take a quick look at the player of the week, Shaq, his player of the week interview. So let's cue that up.
We are after a tremendous game, ending on the last play of the game. Shaq, quarterback, first game in the league, takes it, rolls right, rolls left, scores the game-winning touchdown as time expires. Tremendous comeback. 5 touchdown passes. Four passes. 4 touchdown passes. MVP of the game. My favorite player on the field all day. Smiling all game. How do you feel? Yeah, boy, that's MVP! How do you feel your first game?
I feel great. I'm excited. Game MVPs and all that's cool. I'm just glad we got the W. Try to get a W again next week. And we're not going to stop till we win the whole thing. Feel me? We're going to put the league on notice. Feel me? There's a new player from town. We're taking over, so be careful.
All right, Shaq's just put the league on notice. All right, starting out, Ray, you take over next week.
I love.
Wow. Okay.
I love how he puts the league on notice. I love that attitude. That's just like the stuff that I love to see. It's cool. It's fun. The Knights, new team came in last minute, didn't really know what they were going to do. And we got, it looks like Shaq's writing in big drip. What's up? I mean, dude, if you want to join in real quick, if you can jump in real quick, we'll talk to you for a few minutes. But just, if that happens, let's see. But anyway, yeah, he put up a great game, man. It was a competitive game. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can send him the link. Maybe Adam, you can send him the link over there. I don't know if you can get him on. But anyway, this team, they came out of nowhere last minute, and they played a Panthers team that's trying to get their wheels spinning a little bit. Wakas is their quarterback. He had a decent day, 4 touchdowns, 23 for 32. Justin had a bunch of catches. Jesse Johnson, a bunch of catches. Jesse's obviously a formidable force in this league, but his issue is always going to be attendance. So that's a tough thing for him. Curtis had a couple of tackles. Jesse had a couple of tackles. Overall, I think, we talked a lot about it, Adam, was that this game didn't come down to that. It came down to strategy and how the game ended, and, how, you never know what's going to happen. If the game is not in a mercy ruling, then, you continue playing that game. We don't just end games like that. So a little bit more careful with the ball on first down when you're winning the game with less than 2 minutes down, the whole.
Yeah, this game frustrated me to no end. So a lot of my old Thunder teammates are on the Panthers. And I know firsthand how talented they are, how athletic they are, the type of playmakers they can be. So when I see mistakes that cost them the game, that don't have anything to do with their skills, and it's just an IQ mishap, I mean, those are the games that you need to beat yourself over the head for. So for those of you who don't know, these are 2 new teams, and basically the Panthers were up by 5 with less than 2 minutes to go, and they were first and goal. So you would think that that's a recipe for success. But on the first play, an interception was thrown, and the Knights were able to drive down the field and score. And that goes back to football fundamentals on how you take care of the ball, how you game plan, how you game manage, and how you execute. So watching that from the sideline, it created for great entertainment. It created for great excitement, and it was fun for me as a spectator. But as a former teammate of those guys and someone who wants to see the Panthers succeed, you just you gotta tell them that they gotta keep an eye on how they manage that game because if they got their things in order, they have a lot of talent on that team, a lot of guys who could do certain things really well, and they just need to execute. One player who stood out to me on the Panthers was Sammy. He's a new addition to their team. He was making plays all over the field. He was getting behind the safeties. So I think from a deep threat perspective, that's somebody that you'll need to keep your eye on.
So a couple of things that you mentioned that I want to touch upon about this game. The last thing that you mentioned was Sammy. So Sammy Pepic was in this league many, many years ago. He played for a team called the Decepticons, which was captained by a gentleman named Mo Bagawala. And he was always an interesting player. Fiery player, hell of a player, tough as nails, and just an overall animal beast when it came to football. He had a few of these little issues or whatever, but he was able to go through them, get through them. And then, other things happened. He went his separate ways. And then this year, Wakas came back and brought Sammy back. So it's actually really great to see Sammy back with Wakas and for them to be able to be in a position now where they can start getting some wins and, have somewhat veteran experience. Another point you brought up, I want to touch upon experience and stuff like that with them. Wakas has a lot of experience. Whatever happened this past week, I think it was just a whatever type of moment because I know that he knows what he's doing out there. And, chemistry, that type of stuff, will just come. He'll still getting adjusted to our rules. So all that stuff will come, and they're going to be a force. I know it for at the end of it all. I think overall, in the grand scheme of everything, Adam, as we're wrapping down our night tonight, is that we want we have a very, very competitive season. You said it earlier. We are the most competitive in my eyes. Been doing this for almost 10 years now, right? And I think this year, more than any other year, I'm not just saying it because it's this year, is the most competitive we had on record. So I know we want to wrap up, but as I requested earlier. Oh, okay. Now we lost him. I guess we lost Shaq, but we were going to bring on Shaq for a minute from the Knights. But unfortunately, he left our studio, so maybe we can catch him next week. But Adam, anything you want to talk about, or any last thoughts about what happened this past week, or any matchups, or maybe we talk a few minutes about what's going on this week. We have a couple of matchups. Maybe want to just discuss, maybe give a prediction of what you think is going to happen.
Sure. So why don't we just run into next week's schedule? I think that's a good way to cap off the show.
Sure.
So obviously, like we stated before, AK is on the bye week, but the slate of games, they look pretty interesting. So we got Browns and Gators at 9. We got CK, Cobra Kai, and Primetime at 10:30. We got Savages Bandits at 12. Panthers Guardians at 1:30. And Knights and Wolfpack at 3 p.m. So why don't we just run down the game? And Burhan, we got Browns and Gators at 9. Who do you have?
That's a tough one, man. Both these teams really like a win. I know the Gators have one, but they really need a win. Browns really need a win. Browns have been thrown into the gauntlet the first few weeks, so they really need this win. I'm going to say if the Gators only play with 6 or 7, I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to go 27-21.
Okay, nice prediction. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go Gators in a close one, too. I think the Browns need one more week to get that roster in order. I'm going to go 28-21 Gators. CK Primetime. We know where I'm going on this one, so I'm going to step back as the trying to be objective person and just allow you to make that prediction on behalf of the both of us.
This is going to be a tough game. This is probably the game of the week to me. I think Primetime's been playing really on all cylinders. So is Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai has been finding ways to win. But just, the overall feel of Primetime this year really feels like championship. And I think they're going to come into this game with that attitude and just go crazy. So I'm going to go with Primetime. I'm going to go 33-27. I think that's a fair score. One-score game.
As long as we get the dub, no complaints on my end. So I'll take the next one since it's Savage's Bandits. Look, I think the Bandits have a lot to prove to themselves and to the league. I think they're going to look to bounce back after that romping that they got last week from AK. So I'm going to go Bandits, and I think they're going to win this one decisively. I'm going to go Bandits 35-14.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Next, we have a game that I'm excited for. It's the Panthers and the Guardians, two upstart teams. One team looking to hit its stride and one that might have just found it. So can the Guardians continue that momentum, or do you think the Panthers get their first win, Burhan?
Another tough one, man. I'm going to go with Panthers. They were very close to get their first win this past week. And I believe that they have enough veteran experience, because this is a team of free agents that played in the league. All these guys have played in the league. It's not like not one player on that team has not played in this league before. They all know if it comes down to IQ, strategy, and that stuff again, I don't know what to tell you, but these guys have the talent. So I'm going to go with Panthers. I'm going to say they'll put up 28. Guardians will be right behind them. Probably a one-score game. The one thing I've noticed about Guardians, they're not great at converting on the extra point. So I'm going to go 27-19.
Interesting. You know what? I actually feel the opposite. Look, I know the Panthers have that veteran experience, but I think the Guardians have more chemistry on their end. And I think Yusuf's ability to run the football will be a game-deciding factor in this one. I'm going to go Guardians 33, Panthers 21.
All right. Last game of the day. Knights
versus Wolfpack. Go ahead.
We haven't seen a lot of the Wolfpack. We got a chance to see them week 1. They had a bye week last week. I didn't really get a chance to see the Knights at all. But I like Shaq's attitude, man. I like his attitude. Something about that attitude that is just it's kind of like just always kind of like win type of attitude. I like that attitude. They put up a hell of a game in their first game against the Panthers. Gonna go with the Knights, man. I'm gonna go with the Knights. They put up last week 33. So I'll put it in the same range. 28-6. No, 28-7.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, look, just because the Knights are a new team to the league doesn't mean they're a new team. Something tells me that they have a lot of chemistry between them, just the way they played. They have playmakers. I see them there. Hey, look, it's Squirrel. But look, I think the Knights are going to win this one too. I think they're going to start the season off 2-0. I got the Knights winning 24, Wolfpack 12.
Always got Squirrel popping up like a squirrel.
So I think that's it, Burhan, for the games next week. Unless we have anything else, I think this is a good point to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we talked about everything that we wanted to talk about. We gave some predictions out. Guys, I think the only other thing I wanted to talk about was just trying to keep I know the competition level is very, very high this year, but at the end of the day, we still want to limit any type of trash talking, chirping, cursing, that type of stuff when we're on the field. So with that, I'd like to say it's been a good night. It's been a good week. Hopefully next weekend will be just as great. Adam, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for our producers for all the hard work that they do behind the scenes. And we'll see everybody next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Take it easy, guys.